I'm not going to let this happen to me. So they immediately put a block on the OpenAI domains and to stop people from using it. So I think this was the reaction that happened back in the spring when we were all sitting there with our mouth wide open, looking at what ChatGPT could do. We have the ability for the grunt work to be automated with AI. It translates into wins, but there's a giant overhang. Is it safe? Am I doing it safely? And we still don't have firm answers on this. So the way we deal with this is that the AI architectures in Salesforce have a basic premise where they're going to put a huge fence around all of your data, all of your data processing. So I think here's my prescription on what to do about security is that you have to understand the overall importance of it. You need to implement robust measures that actually take your policies into action. You need to balance your innovation and responsibility.
If you're in a consultant role, if you are internal to an organization, and if you are tasked with looking at this, know that there are ways of approaching this and addressing it.
But the point is, in the business sense, that's not really what you're looking at. You're looking at actually having a very controlled approach to actually accessing this information. So how do we make sure it's secure? The most important thing is to have some form of security layer, and both GPTfy and Salesforce do this for you. So what both GPTfy and Salesforce do is they identify and remove the PII out of that. So in a case, for example, it will take my name and replace it with person one. It'll take my email address and replace it with 123.123@.com. So with Salesforce, you actually have got great controls over what happens. However, if you're building an Apex class that's going to pull data out of Salesforce and send it across to the artificial intelligence platform, you need to control that. Now, it's a little bit tricky if you're doing it inside of Apex because
the fact is, if you are a medium or a large enterprise, you have a ton of applications. And now we are at a point where we have to make a big decision. Do I have an AI capability and try to wire it into every application I have in my enterprise? Or do I take one of those applications and use it as a vehicle to enable these capabilities? And fortunately, you have some ability which Vernon pointed to, which is around you can adjust the temperature of your AI. So you can reduce the temperature. A lower temperature means it's going to be less imaginative and more deterministic. So here is an example of very well tagged data that I was mentioning earlier. You can see that I have information on the left. Before we send it to AI, we remove all of the PI that you can see. Our email has been, this email is replaced with removed and removed, right? Like we are doing a lot of that. The second part is you're seeing everything is tagged, right? This is a description. This is a case comment on this. This is a case number, right? We are not leaving it for AI to try and figure out what exactly this might be.
I think the way we're going to deal with this is partly by technology and by orchestrations that happen in the background